Hey guys, welcome to the next guitar tutorial. As you can see, I've changed location. I'm forced to change location, but I think it's okay. I think it's going to work out. But anyway, let us get started straight away. So we're doing another Guitarist Reacts video, and there was someone that I found specifically on YouTube. Just to give a bit of background here before I introduce this video that I found. There are tons of guitar videos, tutorials on there that you can find online, tons of them. You can become probably a professional just by having YouTube and an internet connection and a guitar and putting enough time into it. And so I thought, what more value can I add to me giving my lessons or my 2 cents? So I thought, let me try out some of these guitarists and check what their tutorials are like and apply to my whole life, to my own guitar playing, and actually see how that improves my guitar playing. Alright, so there's a guy that I found online, a guitarist, and basically the guy's called Red Shull. I think it's Red Shull. He gives some very important lessons on basically 5 things that he wish he knew when he first started off guitar. And so I think that's what we're going to go through here. So I'm going to start the video from the beginning. We won't play the whole thing because then you might as well just watch the guy's tutorial. And I'm going to quickly talk about the things that I'm going to take on for the next week. And then next week, I'm going to give feedback on how it went. And I'm sure that you'll learn a lot from these things as well. All right, so here we go. Let's start off.
So I think we can all agree that things right now are kind of crazy. And my hope is that if you're watching this video at some point in the very near future, this intro seems kind of weird and out of place to you. But currently, with the way things are going, every day is a bit of an adventure, we'll call it. Now, I'm trying to stay positive with everything that's going on right now and trying to find the silver linings of our current situation. And I've noticed something. With everyone staying at home, there's a lot of new guitar players. People are picking up guitar either for the first time or they're dusting off that old guitar they've had sitting in the corner or the back of their closet for several years. And this got me thinking about the mistakes that I made as a beginner guitar player when I was first learning. The mistakes I made, the things I wish I could have done differently and would do differently if I could go back and do it all over again. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 things I should have learned when I was a beginner guitar player. These are 5 things that, had I learned when I was starting out, I truly believe I would be a better guitar player today. Now the first thing on the list...
Alright, so he's going to go through the 5 things. Let me just show you. So that's the guy over there. Alright, the 5 things basically that he went through. The first one is don't grip the guitar so hard. And what he spoke about the fact is that when we first start learning guitar, we often like to make sure those chords are on properly. So we like... grab hard like that while we're playing, and so that makes things difficult. First of all, it can pull your strings out of tune, or it can tune your chords quite quickly. I don't know how that happens, but I can imagine that especially the top part of the fretboard where the strings are the hardest, closest to the bridge, as in where you tune your guitar, that part by the nut, actually not the bridge, the nut, if you push them hard enough, then they can begin to it can tune the guitar out either way. But what he recommends is that, for example, if you play let's say G on the E string, you push it down lightly and you play it, it'll be fine. But what happens is, and I think the point that he's talking from is that we play every chord progression hard. And that's unnecessary. So what he recommends is lighten your grip a bit. It also makes it easier to play when you change chords. It makes it easier to change as well. And apparently some notes in that. So I know for myself that the only time when I push down hard is especially when I'm using my bar finger and I have to get to those bottom strings at the bottom. I know that that's the only times when I do press off and hard. So check yourself out, see that. The second thing is we spoke about capos. Alright, I don't use a capo, I don't even own one. Alright, I don't even know how to work them. But he gave some good suggestions there. I'm going to see if I can get a capo. Please pray for me. Hopefully I will be able to get a capo, even if I'm going to maybe borrow from a friend. And I'm going to try and master it up a little bit. The third thing he said is learn the basics of music theory. And I don't know how many people are actually scared of music theory. But music theory is actually not that scary. But he says the very, very basics. And he listed 3 things here that you should definitely look into. The The first one is learn your major scales, what a major scale is. The second thing is learn a bit of chord theory on how chords are put together. I've got a lesson on that. Go check that out on my playlist. I actually talk about putting major chords, minor chords together. And also he talks about triads. And what triads is basically, and I've also taught on this before, is your first, your third, and your fifth. Look into what that is. And then, and then the third thing is seventh chords, learning seventh chords. Recently, I actually started learning seventh chords, and I must say, they are awesome. There was a song that I played from, that I learned how to play from Sting, called Shape of My Heart. Uses a lot of sevens. Beautiful chords. I definitely agree with that. Then the fourth thing he says is play with others. And I know in my last video when I spoke about how to improve your playing, it was definitely play with others, jam with other people, right? And although, he said the same thing that I felt, it can feel intimidating because now you don't match up to their level. Maybe you mess around and you play off, and that can be quite embarrassing. But he says play with others, even if it means that you talk to other guitarists as well about gears, about chords, about theories. Learn as much as, in fact, you see, that's actually pretty crazy. Often what happens is that as musicians, we like to show ourselves off to other people, but what he's talking about here is try and learn from other people. So that's actually, don't be scared that, okay, yeah, look, I'm not that great in this area, I've got my strengths here, but this area over here, and I see that you're really good in that area, so, what do you have to say about that? And, I've actually had people that have approached me saying, hey man, I'm struggling with this. And I actually respect people like that because I know as a musician it's not easy to do that. You want to prove yourself, but don't do that. Just learn from other people, create a community. And then the fifth thing that he talks about is find a teacher. He says, a lot of people, and I know for myself as well, with YouTube, like I said, you can become a full-on professional just from YouTube because of all the videos, all the teachers, and you can even comment, and sometimes they reply back. But he actually says find a teacher. All right. Number one, self-taught is cool, but the first thing is that those teachers can put another style of playing into your practice or something else. Because we're playing what we find favorable. Instead of maybe the teacher can say, hey, try this genre, try different genres and stuff like that, and that can grow us. All right. The other thing is that a teacher can keep you accountable in terms of your playing, so they can phone you up. I know that when I first started playing guitar, I had a teacher, and often what would happen is that he would give me homework for that lesson, and it would put me under pressure to get that homework done because we had the lesson, and then I would have to show that I've participated in that lesson. In other words, I've spent time on that lesson, and that would push me. All right. Also, I spoke about in one of my previous tutorials about set goals and then go for that. And then the last thing is that also learn about your gear. And I know that that's very important. Do you even know what the knobs on your guitar do? Do you know that the one's for volume? Do you know that the other one's tone? What if you play tone a certain note? Do you even know what your pickup switch is? Do you know which pickups are working? Learn your gear because it will also teach you how to voice and play with a feel or an artistic effect, and make it'll definitely improve your playing. So learn your gear. So first one is don't grip the guitar so hard. Second thing is capos, and he gives some stuff back on there. Go check out the video, go look for it. I've showed it if you want to learn more about that, but that's something I'm going to actually see if I can borrow a capo. And the third thing is learn the basics of music theory, your major scales, chord theory, and seventh chords. Well, in chord theory, your triads. And then fourth is play with others, and with that, find a teacher. And the fifth thing is learn your gear. All right, so next week I'm going to report back, and I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I've learned, and I'm going to tell you how much I felt that this has improved my playing and hopefully I can get my hands on a capo, and I'm going to master it. Well, not master it, I'm going to learn how to play with it. All right, so guys, subscribe to support this channel because I know that you like this video, so you might as well also hit the like button. Guys, see you guys next week. Cheers.